Oh, hello there again. Welcome to AM Talk, the segment where we discuss issues confronting our nation. My guest seated, Mr. Sam George is Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram. He's a member of the Communications Committee of Parliament. Hello there, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Also on the show this morning is Mr. Collins Adumaku-Mensah. He's Member of Parliament for Efija Kwabre, member of the Finance Committee and I think the Health Committee as well. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
I just want to briefly start with the issue of whether or not there's some kind of pressure mounting on members of Parliament. Mr. Sam George, I saw your posts. And just a little reminder, we're going to put that post on the screen where on this name and shame issue, where you said asking an MP to get roads fixed for real. The name and shame campaign must be backed by basic knowledge. My job is to lobby. But you have a minister for roads and highways. If you have any bile, spit it at him, for that is his job. You know, when this issue came up, people were reminding us that MPs also did make promises on the campaign trail. And I guess that's why people are coming hard at you.
A very good morning to you, Mama VM, to my colleague and our viewers. I mean, for me, I will say it as it is. And I keep saying that you can't use one big brush stroke to brush or paint everyone. I held my own on Twitter, and anyone who's followed that thread will realize that a large chunk of the people who came at me later came back and said, look, dude knows this game. Because I will hold my own against anyone. It is not the job of an MP to fix roads.
But is that what you tell the people?
Well, not Sam George. And I've said, and someone said to me, a number of people came and said, oh, but you campaigned on it. And I have challenged and dared everybody in this country that anybody who can show a video clip or a recording of me, Sam George, at a campaign rally, promising to fix a road, I'll resign from Parliament. Because, listen, my campaign team has been bitter at me until now they've come to accept it. Because when we go to communities where there are problems with the roads in my constituency and they put it before me, I am clear to them. I say to them, it is not my job to fix the road. It is the job of government. You pay taxes to government. There is a minister of roads who gets an appropriation to fix the roads. I as MP don't get it. What I will promise you as your MP if you vote for me is that I will put pressure on that minister, I would lobby him, and I will put enough pressure to get him to do his job. However, he doesn't answer to me. That has always been my response. And my campaign team at times says, but Honorable, just tell them you'll fix the road. And I say, I won't. Because tomorrow it will come back to bite me. What I don't have control over, I won't promise. I've said to them, when the road gets fixed, give me credit for lobbying for the road to get fixed. But give credit to government for fixing the road. And so, and people said I should show evidence of my lobbying on this thread. And I did.
How do we know you're lobbying?
The minister was appointed sometime in April of 2017. In June 2017, less than 3 months into office, I had put sufficient pressure for the minister to come and inspect the roads in my constituency. I'm an opposition MP. But in less than 3 months, how many even MPP sitting MPs have gotten the Minister of Roads to come to their constituency to look at the roads? I have written several letters. 5 times in 4 years, I have gotten the minister to come and answer questions in Parliament. And I put out the videos and all of that on the floor. And people say 5 times in 4 years. I say, well, because you don't understand the parliamentary processes. When you file a question, it can take 6 months before the speaker would admit your question. And when he admits your question, it can take another 6 months before the business committee will table it. So there are MPs who have filed questions, and when you file a question at the beginning of the year, and that calendar year ends, and your question is not taken, it is scrapped. You have to start afresh. So for me to have gotten the minister 5 times on roads in 4 years in my constituency tells you the work I'm doing. Look, let's call a spade a spade. And I said to people, anybody who goes to vote for an MP, because he comes to stand in front of you and promises you that he will fix roads, you've allowed yourself to be fooled. Because that MP does not have the capacity to fix the roads. The best he can do is you are going to ask, oh, you know what, oh, you know what, you are who patch yourself being the minister does not respond to you as an MP. The minister, and there is no MP, be you government MP or opposition MP, who at the beginning of a year, they give you, go and build roads. This is the money for you. They say common fund. How much is the common fund? He is a first-time MP. Ask him if he's even seen his first quarter common fund, because we've not even had the formula done.
So let me ask him if he also feels that same kind of pressure.
Well, let me say good morning to you and my senior brother. And this is my first time on your set. And so thank you for inviting me. It's true. I mean, we get some pressures from our constituents.
But did you promise your people you'll fix roads?
I didn't say that. However, I did tell them that. But fortunately for me, in my particular constituency, I mean, we have two major roads. One is being fixed, almost done, and the other has already been given on contract.
So you could safely campaign
so
on that?
So you could safely tell them that, yes, I'm going to ensure that the contractor comes on site and all that. But I did not tell people that, yes, when I come, I have the resources on my own to construct roads. No, I didn't say that. But see, you can't blame them. The truth is that there are a lot of us members of parliament who campaign on such issues. And so when they get there and then it is bounced back to them, now the reaction then is, oh, no, I didn't promise, I can't, I'm not the one who builds the roads. But that's what you told them. So I don't blame them for doing that. It's because of the way over the years, you know, we've been campaigning and the kind of things we've been saying on the campaign platform.
Okay.
Again, this brings to fore education. I think we have to continuously educate our constituents to let them know exactly what our roles are as members of parliament.
Okay, but would that get you the votes?
That's another issue. But I think if you continuously explain, Sam is here. He says he told them that he will not build the road, but he won the election. And I'm sure it was the way he communicated his points to them. And I'm sure if you develop that skill, no matter what you tell them, once you have a good plan and a good strategy, you should be able to.
Can I jump in on that point? Look, the Ghanaian electorates value and cherish honesty. Let's not underestimate the value of honesty on the campaign trail. And on that thread, one of my constituents who lives in Deftraco came on and said to people, look, as for this guy, I can vouch for him. He never campaigned with that. People voted for me because they realized I was telling them the truth. I increased not my total votes, my margin of victory from 10,000 votes to 30,000 votes in opposition. I didn't fix roads. But people saw the effort I did, and they saw that I told them the truth. Any MP or candidate who comes to stand in front of you and promises you that he will fix roads, or that he will build you a hospital, a whole district hospital, doesn't respect you, is a criminal and has no integrity and has no business being called an honorable member of parliament.
But are you saying that they can't try and get the resource not from themselves, but you know, you guys try to get investment into your constituency?
I'll give you a typical example. Afenya-Dawenya Road, which is one of the major roads in my constituency people are complaining about. That road is on contract. A contractor was put on that road in 2015. So once a contract is issued and the ministry has not terminated it, are you aware that by law you can't even go onto that road and start even doing any work? Because now it is the property, it is the site of a contractor. So even when you want to go on that road to do anything, the ministry stops you and tells you there is a contractor on site. You've been lobbying to get that contractor to be given mobilization or money to come and continue the work. Because the contractor started the work, it stalled, they said there was an audit, the audit is completed, give him money to come back, it's become an issue. So at the end of the day, how do you go and get investment? And you are talking about a road that is most likely maybe 15, 20 million Ghana cedis contract. Which MP is going to get 20 million Ghana cedis from who? Which NGO? There's no NGO that fixes roads. There are NGOs that can help you with maybe a borehole. Some may even help you build a school. Yeah. Some may help you build a chips compound, depending on the focus of that NGO. Some will come and help you do skills training. I have not seen any NGO in the world that will give you 20 million Ghana cedis to go and fix a road. In my constituency, and I use my constituency because, and I want people work for my constituency. The road from Dawa all the way through Lekpouno to Mangochonya was given on contract in 2015 as well. The same, when I was campaigning, they said to me, Honorable, this road is not good. I said, look, a contractor has been put on the road. That was in 2016, my first term. A contractor has been put on this road by John Mahama. If we win, I will make sure he completes it. Whoever wins the election, I will make sure they complete it. John Mahama did not win the election. But I went to the minister. In that road was stalled the whole of 2017. I went back to the minister. It was one of the roads the minister came to tour. There were 5 roads. That road, the New Jerusalem to Apollonia Road, the Dawenya-Afienya Road, the Old Ningo to Chopoli Road, and then Old Ningo to Ahiam Road. 5 roads. As we speak, the minister with the effort of, with the kind of lobbying and pressure I've put and questions I've asked them, they've completed the Jerusalem to Apollonia Road. That's why nobody is giving you credit. Nobody is saying anything about it. They've completed the Dawa to Mango Chonya. That's why they say don't say anything about it. MP hasn't done anything. The minister has not yet given mobilization for the other 3, for the contractor to come back on site. I am told by the contractor that he's been asked to come back to the Afenya Road this month. But again, I'm waiting to see him on site. But at the bottom line is, people will not look at that one and say that, oh, you've tried to lobby for this one. They only remember the ones that haven't been fixed. But my point is, it is not my job, and I will not promise anybody. I told them on Twitter, I'm too woke to make such cheap promises.
Okay, but this kind of pressure is certainly good and healthy, because it would also, it means that the people are checking and they are listening to everything that you say. And if we find a video or an audio of you making a certain promise,
you can hold the person
will hold you accountable.
Certainly.
So we'll be
you
watching you.
You see, Mama V, the most important thing for me going forward, and I like the pressure. The pressure should rather be, we should focus the pressure into the right channels. So you want to hold Collins or Sam George responsible. Hold me responsible for my work in legislation on the floor of the House. What is my contribution in at the committee level? What is my contribution in terms of even my ancillary role as a development agent, which is to lobby, because I don't have. So I must be able to show evidence that I am actually making an effort to lobby and draw the attention of government to the developmental needs. But my principal role of legislation as well, what check have you done on that? Then you must hold the DCE. Everybody talks about common fund. The common fund, a large chunk of that common fund sits with the DCE. Even the MP's common fund is not given to the MP.
Yeah, we don't sign
the
for it.
The MP doesn't sign for it. It is given to the DCE or the MCE. The MP has to apply to the MCE, and the MCE or DCE approves it at his pleasure. So people don't know all of this. It's important that we then hold the DCs and MCs responsible, because they are, you see, someone said to me, but you are the representative of government for the constituency. I said, no, I am not. The DCE or the MCE is government representative in the district. I am your representative in parliament. Then let us also hold the ministers responsible. There's a minister of roads. There's a minister of finance. The Minister of Finance comes to Parliament with an appropriations for the Ministry of Roads and tells us, I will give the Minister of Roads 2 billion Ghana cedis to construct roads in 2021. Let us hold the Minister of Finance responsible and say, make sure that, Kenneth Ofori-Atta, make sure you have given Kwesi Amoako-Atta, all actors. Kenneth Ofori-Atta has given Kwesi Amoako-Atta the 2 billion. Kwesi Amoako-Atta, can we see what you have done with that 2 billion? That is the only way we hold people responsible. So but you come and hold Sam George responsible for 2 billion spending when I'm not the receiving officer or the spending officer. How do you hold me responsible?
Just a final say, I'll give it to you. Can MPs call out ministers of state responsible for carrying out certain activities if they're not doing it?
I think there are processes within our parliamentary rules to check ministers. And as Sam George said, you can, through questions, urgent questions, you can bring the minister to Parliament and ask questions, as they say, that what have you done with this appropriation that was allocated to you? That can be done. But the process isn't just coming out, and you have to be a little bit diplomatic about it.
You become diplomatic when it is your government that is in power. So obviously you can't do that. But when you are in opposition, I guess I guess it becomes much easier.
Well, sometimes I do pick a phone and call some ministers. I mean, some of them are colleagues, and to find out what is happening on this particular project. There's nothing wrong. I'm sure Sam George does same. As he said, he's been going to the road minister to find out the.
Yeah, call him Wofao.
Yes.
Yeah, but the people will say that. How does your asking questions on the floor, bringing the minister to the floor to answer the questions, solve or resolve their problems on the ground? You know,
but it does put pressure on him
with
because
the Fix the Country campaign now, the people are not asking for the talk and the promises. They want something more substantive.
Well, when you ask a question, the minister comes and gives you details as to what he's been able to do to an extent. And so that in its way, it's a way of checking or putting pressure on the minister. Of course, when he comes to Parliament, it's a house of records. So whatever he's saying or answering to your question, he must be very careful what he says. He can't lie on the floor of Parliament. So I think it's a way of putting pressure on the ministers to really, really execute their mandate.
Okay, all right. So we'll leave this matter here.